Amy Marashi. I'm an educator, soon to be published author, and beta reader. So I am currently self-editing this book. And so I honestly didn't know how much work is involved with self-editing. I have a degree in English. I have taught high school English 1 and 2. I've taught writing 2. I've taught debate. I've taught so many courses. I have 2 master's degrees. This is probably the hardest thing I think I've ever done ever. Okay, so I'm actually editing this book so I can submit it to an editor. They can edit it. They can send it back to me and I can edit it some more. Editing just feels like it's never ending. I think for your first book, it's kind of almost like an overwhelming process, kind of like teaching. So like you don't really know what it's like until you jump in and do it. So in today's video, I'm gonna share the strategies that work for me, and hopefully they might be able to help you too. With that being said, I feel like editing is a very unique thing. So what works for one person may not work for somebody else. Okay, so one tip about editing is you need to know what kind of editing you're gonna try to self-edit for. So when you're looking at big picture things, you're gonna wanna use a different strategy. So for what I found to help with big picture is you're gonna need to read it all very fast because you can't do big picture when you're stuck at the tiny pieces. So for me, what works is I have a notebook on the side and I just try to go through it really fast. So I usually try to do it over the weekend. So now I'm gonna show you what I do for big picture, like really big picture. So I'll go grab it. Okay, so I'm a huge planner, but for whatever reason, when it comes to writing a story, I can't plan. Like, I try to plan, I try to outline right before I start the actual draft, but what happens is I usually don't follow it. So when it comes to big picture things, what I find that works for me is I will go ahead and like draft the entire thing, and then what I do is I create a storyboard out of it. So if you look at this, okay, so I create one of these for each one of the 3 acts. And so basically this is outlining every single scene in that act. And so I really like this because I can get like a bird's eye view and I can move things around, and it's just easier for me to see it. Okay, so this tip is to read your book over and over. So it should probably feel like you have read it a million times. And I think that part is normal from what I've gathered. With that being said, I feel like that's not enough. So when you're reading something over and over and over again, and it's something that you wrote, you're so connected to it that you can't see some of the things like that are minor that make a huge difference. For example, I can leave off words, but my eyes just breeze past it. So it's like, for example, if I'm missing the word "the" somewhere, my mind reads it like that word is there, even though it's not. So what I do to try to help with that situation is to use a text-to-speech app. Okay, so there are a lot of pros when it comes to using a text-to-speech app. And some of the ones that I can come up with is you can like listen to it and you can work on it literally almost anywhere you are. If you have a charged phone, you're good to go. I like to listen to it on my way to work, my way home from work, when I'm cooking dinner, doing laundry, taking a walk. Literally, you can do it anytime you want. So I feel like that makes it easier because you're not having to stop everything and put 100% of focus. You just have to listen. For me, it's way more obvious when it's being spoken out loud if that word is missing because it just sounds off. Okay, I'm gonna link a few text-to-speech apps below. Another strategy that I have is to do quick read-throughs of your manuscript and to look for specific things. So for example, you could be looking at dialogue tags. So like read all the way through and check all your dialogue tags. Another example would be like pay attention to the positioning of characters. So for example, if you have a character that is in a garden and then all of a sudden they end up in the library, did they walk there? How did they get there? Was there some kind of transition involved? If there wasn't a transition, you had to put a transition. Okay, this next step is kind of weird. So when it comes to writing, I can have background noises on. I can be watching a TV show, but when I'm editing, I have to have complete silence. It's crazy. So I can't have anything in the background. I can't be watching The Office. I can't be watching Below Deck. I have to have it quiet. I usually like have a little ritual where I light a candle. And so you have to get in the mindset. So find a way to get into the mindset. Okay, the next tip that I have is super easy and I kind of think it's fun. So what I do is, if you look at this, I don't know how well you can see it, but I have tabs here. And so for me, if I think about it like as the big picture, that can be very overwhelming. And so what I like to do is I like to break it down. So for example, okay, so what I'm doing for the month of May is I'm reading 10 pages a day. I could do a little bit less, I could do a little bit more, but I'll know that I hit my quota of the day when I reach a yellow Post-it note. So again, I put this on every 10 pages. And I think for me, that's what helps me break it down more, because again, when I look at it big picture, then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I have graduations I have to go to. I have a lot of senior stuff I have to keep track of. My job is crazy right now. I can't handle it. But the 10 pages a day I can handle. That's gonna help keep me on track, because my goal is during the summertime to draft out book 2. So that's my goal. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of show you what it looks like when I edit inside the book. So I just like literally write on the book itself. So this is a proof copy. It was $7. I don't mind if I just mark all in it and it's just gonna be trash after this. And like, that's fine. I will write all in it. I'll highlight in it. I'll put tabs on there. I don't have to keep it, but I probably will. Another strategy that I have, if I need to do some rewrites or major edits, I like to organize that by act. So I'll have like a checklist for Act 1, a checklist for Act 2, a checklist for Act 3. And this is a little bit more technical, but what I like to do is put that in a Google Sheet, and I have the check boxes, and when I mark the checkbox as done, the cell turns green, and it just makes me happy inside. And so that is my strategy. Okay, if you guys like this video, please hit the like button, and if there is something that you guys would like to see, please put that in the comments below. And the next video will be out on Wednesday. Happy writing!